Well, hello folks. So this is part one of the video I want to do. I'm going to show you some stuff inside this shop, and then we're going to take it out into the woods and use it. You can talk all day. If you don't show nothing, as far as I'm concerned, you probably don't have the skills. I mean, people like to talk, and that's what they do. So let's not talk about it, let's use it. First we're going to talk about it, then part two we'll use it. But first, let's talk about primitive people. They've seen a lot of crap about going into the woods with nothing and making your own stuff. Fine, and that's fine, but have some gear with you. Don't have to be a whole bunch. Everything I show you fits into the Pathfinder haversack. And I can go out there. If I get stuck for some crazy reason, turn it around, or maybe it's just getting dark. And I'm like, okay, I don't feel like rushing, killing myself in the dark or wasting batteries with my headlamp. We'll go ahead and do an overnighter. I'm fine with that with this Pathfinder haversack the way I got it set up. The primitive people made their stuff. I can guarantee they carried it with them on to the next spot. They made a pack frame, and they had pouches, probably a haversack they made too. Don't tell how long the haversack's been made for carrying food, gear, whatnot. They made their own stuff, but they had it with them. They may have made some stuff on the fly and went somewhere, or maybe they did set up their shelter. Look at the Native Americans. They were in a tribe, a community situation. They depended on each other during the hunts. And if they had to go somewhere for the winter, they took those long old poles with them. Or at least their shelter part, the teepees. That went with them. They just didn't make it right there on the spot. There's a lot of sewing involved, a lot of curing, a lot of stuff like that. Food, they probably had it with them. Smoked meat, beef. They didn't just hunt, they smoked this stuff. They carried it with them, or it'd be the caveman or the Native Americans. Look it up, folks. You'll learn something. I'm going to get you down here so I can show you what I would take out in the woods. Now, this is a me thing. You don't have to carry what I carry. You don't have to do the knots that I'm going to do in part two. You don't have to do that. Whatever you're comfortable with, go ahead and do it. All right, here we go. So I'm going to say C's, because I'm kind of going off what Canberry does, Dave Canberry. And I have all that right here, and stuff you can add to it. So that's how we're going to do this video. But anyhow, first we're going to start out, because this is right here, cargo tape. Now what can I add to this cargo tape? I can already put my fire kit, or in this case, and my first aid kit. I don't have bandage in here. I just have gauze, some toilet paper, so they have to use the bathroom to come out the woods and whatnot. So I'll go with my first aid. Now, what else do I have? I have a compass. There's the second C. Now what can I add to that? I can add more stuff. A pen, something to write on, maps, something to mark my way with if I have to. Some ribbon. Forget the noise. My neighbors are bringing noise today. And normally if I'm out in the woods, especially in an area I'm not familiar with, and I have this in a haversack, I'll keep the compass in my pocket way and just dig it out and look at it. And as you can see, it's my first aid kit. Like I said, I got toilet paper, gauze, more gauze, curing shock. Of course, your body reacts to that and starts to get cold, so something to cover you with. I don't have a tourniquet because I'm not familiar with those things. If I should get one, learn how to use one. We have a candling device, which is just a headlamp, plus what's in my pocket. But I'm not getting rechargeables eventually. And the reason being is batteries are just right down expensive, and I can charge on this brick if I have to. I like. Right now, these take AAA batteries, both of them. I got backup in here. I usually use this brick on my phone. And that normally goes inside my pocket. And here we have combustion. I do have a lighter in my pocket, but I keep a spare one. If it's really cold, and what I should do, usually I roll Gorilla Tape around it, but what I should do, and I forget what they're called, they have a cover You can put it on it, waterproofs it. That's what I should get, and I just don't have one. And then I can roll the tape on the container itself, because the grower tape is flammable. Normally I would have lighter. I might have one in my pocket wrapped. I don't know. I don't think I do actually. No, it's not wrapped. That doesn't work. Oh yeah, it works. And I did a video there on how to rescue one of these if it gets wet. But that might be the video after I do the overnighter. We have storm-proof matches. They come in this container right here. You strike it right here. I have a ferro rod. Now this and this to me is backup. I like my sure flame. But also at the same time, this is about as primitive as I can get. I don't have a flint and steel. I do know how to use it. I've used it in the past. But this is a ferro rod with the striker. I'm more comfortable taking my striker and using the push method than I am the pull method with the knife or saw. I usually have better luck with the push method. What can I add to it? And learn your natural resources. But you can also make your own fire starters, buy fire starters, but fire starters. In this case, I have a thing of fat wood, and I need to put more in here. In fact, that one stick's probably good enough. It's nice and big. Here, I'll just take it out so you guys can see it. I do have another Altoids can around here somewhere. I think it's still got Altoid mints in it, and I need to empty it into my plastic bag so I can have that container. For right now, I have the sawdust from the fat wood. I found a great big old piece of fat wood that's still in this corner. I can still get fat wood off it. Learn your natural resources, but also don't be afraid to buy fire starters, or better yet, make your own. Save yourself some money. For all this combustion I got here, I don't know if you guys are keeping track of the seas. Let's go right in here. And this all fits inside my haversack. Use a Ziploc bag. I like to use Ziploc bags in the sea tool. Now, there's the disadvantage. I get air in them, and I gotta do what I'm doing here. Get that air out of there. And get the air in there once it's bulk up, then it don't want to fit. Now, we have containers. I have this. I do have a stainless steel water bottle coming, along with some other stuff, and we'll get to that video because I'm going to do an unboxing. Hopefully he has mailed it today and it's on its way. I don't know when I'm going to get it. But right now I have this plastic container. I have a hook this on it, because I have the other part on my back. I just click it on there, be done with it. I have my coffee cup because I do like my coffee. I usually keep, unless I'm using it, the carabiner goes on here, then it just clicks onto the strap of my haversack. But I've had issues with taking my cup and then pressing this, and it releases everything. We have, this is titanium. Like I said, I got a stainless steel bottle cone that's going to have a nesting cup. And that's the cover that goes on. I like to have my cover. That way we're not getting all this stuff on here. And my haversack and on other things. And I had to use the heck out of that thing. There's my containers. Now, what can I add to that water bottle? A cover. Or, not a cover, my cloth. I can wipe the sweat off my face. I can do that when I'm collecting water. I'll help with the filter, which is nothing but, what is this thing? I never can remember the name to it. A Sawyer. It ain't the mini one. I want more bang for my buck, so I get the bigger one. And depending on what I'm doing, I like my coffee, so sometimes I'll pack some coffee with me, which I don't have it out here. Not that big of a deal. Now we have cutting tools. This is my belt knife. This is another belt knife, and usually I just stick it down the haversack for another knife. This is a Mora I'm not sure about the brand on this one. It don't say. I was told, and honestly, I don't remember. Usually that's the one I wear on my belt. And of course, my silky saw. And a way to sharpen things. This pull thing. I'm not that great with sharpening knives, and that's what I use. Like the more, and this, or not this, but this needs some work. Like I said, I'm not that good at sharpening knives. Plus what I got in my pocket. And it's just an SAK that I have in my pocket. Now, we have covered nothing but a rain poncho. I have a tarp, but the haversack's kind of small. Now I can attach the tarp on to here if I wanted to. Now, with the cover, we have cordage. This is my ridge line. What can we add to it? We can add more cordage. Let me dig in here. Tent stakes. I need to burn the ends of these actually. I think I have 4 of these in here. 10 foot. I have to look, but I'm pretty sure I got 4. Looks like I got 2. I have to go through this. I thought I had 4. But anyways, it don't matter. And it was lying in at the moment that I did this. Now, stuff we can add on. Bug spray. Like I'm wearing something else. I was sitting outside the shop being bugged by gnats. And this smells like orange. I like it because it smells like orange. You spray it on a black shirt, I'm here to tell you, this is the powdery stuff that's going to get some white on you. It'll come off. It beats the heck. I'd rather smell like bug spray than have bugs flying around me or even ticks. I was out in the woods last night and this is what I used. Came back with no ticks on me. And yes, it's a chemical. I can almost see it in the comment section. Oh my God, you're using chemicals. I'd rather take my chance with chemicals than with those bugs. But that depends on how you are. Do what you want. Now, they probably dealt with bugs in the primitive situation the natural way. Because there was no chemical bug spray like we got now. We have gloves. Now, I don't mind wearing gloves for some things. And I don't know what the Native Americans did. They probably had really calloused hands. I do a little bit, but I don't always wear gloves. There's been times where I've worn them, depending on what I'm doing. There's times I don't wear them, depending on what I'm doing. And I say this because I was breaking up sticks once barehanded. One of the sticks didn't really break, and I was trying to get the bark off, and I was pushing, and I got my finger pretty good. That's when I discovered my bandage sucked, so I just took my bandage right out after that. We have this foraging bag. You guys have seen this about a dozen times. Probably more than a dozen. Actually, still have stuff in it. From palm trees. Fuzzy, whatever it is, it will catch a spark. I have a video on this YouTube channel somewhere. That's what we can add to it. We have somewhat of a shovel. Not much one, it's lightweight. I can dig kind of in the sand here, make kind of a fire pit. Because when I'm done, I like to put water. Usually I have a gallon of water with me, it's not out here, and I carry that. You're not putting a milk jug in a haversack. You can try if you'd like. And if you do, please make a video, because I'd like to see that. But that's what I use. You can probably attach a stick on here and get yourself more of a handle. But this isn't, well, that ain't bad. Well, it does bend kind of like that, but it's not bad. You're not digging anything major. Sand around here and digging all day. I like to ask the silverware. And I guarantee you they made their own. They're in the Native American days, or even the caveman days, or the Ice Age, whichever you want to call it. And I have made my own stuff before. I'm not really carving this. Somewhat of a flat thing to be able to scoop it up. I'm not that good at carving. We have snacks. I have some nuts. I have ramen noodles. I have 2 granola bars. I'm here to tell you right now, they carry jerky or smoked meat. Not to say they didn't hunt, but if they were going off somewhere, they already had stuff they had smoked, and they had jerked. And they do that the perimeter way. And then, of course, something to carry everything in. So I'm going to go ahead and do this on video. We're going to put everything in here. And it seems I like a lot for this small haversack. It'll go in there. So first, I'm not going to bother with this top pocket. I'm hoping to get my shelter inside that top pocket. What do I want to put in the bottom? What don't I really use? Well, I know when I get to camp I pour everything out so it really doesn't matter. I do like to keep my first aid to the top in case I need it for some stupid reason. We'll go ahead and put my knife, not that one, it goes on my belt. My pot, that's what goes inside. I had to remember how I had it packed. I unpacked everything. Now I don't always pack things up the same. I try to, but sometimes you forget how you had it packed, unless you did it thousands of times. Which even then, I still forget sometimes. I had the campcraft haversack for the longest time. You guys have seen it. But it gave up on me. Big old hole in it, and I do mean big, and it just kept on ripping. And I still use it for some things, but really not to carry my gear in it no more. So we'll stick this down the bottom here. And then, I got a space right here because I don't always use my gloves. Let's go ahead and stick it in that space. If I need it, I really don't mind digging for it. Now, I had issues that's not coming back, but this actually wasn't for the top pocket. So I'll go ahead. Well, we'll put more towards the top. We'll shove this in here, down below. We'll stick this over here. Stick my cutting tool to the side here. There we go. We're about right here. My handles to my cutting tools are about here. I've still got room to work with. Food we keep more towards the top. We'll go ahead. I don't just stack. I find a place for this about everything. There we go. Kind of like playing Tetris here. My mat can actually go kind of on the back here. There we go. And everything up against me is pretty comfortable. I've not had any issues with that. We'll go ahead and stick this down in here. I like to keep my wire first towards the top. This can go in my pocket. That's that knife sharpener, that pull through thing. And when you do this, make sure you turn your battery around. If it takes batteries, I'm not sure how to do the rechargeable ones. It depends how they got it. Sometimes you press that button by accident. I'm not going to have that problem because I have my top battery near this button turned around so I don't accidentally turn this on. I've ran into that issue here lately. I'm like, what the heck? I never ran into this issue before. But we did. So, we'll just go ahead and do that like that. Go ahead and keep my silverware with this knife here. Shove it down the side. Down there farther. I got an empty space right here and I never can get it filled. We're going to try it again. There we go. About the same with this part. I got an empty space in that corner, but whatever. My cloth, we'll go ahead. And I have an extra one of those in my pocket, or at least I should have. There we go. And I need to wash this thing. It was white, believe it or not. But I wipe my head with it, sweat and whatnot. Like I'm about to do that now because I'm kind of sweating. Kind of humid out. It's not as humid as it has been. We're not done with over 100-degree weather, I'm aware of yet. We're going to stick this water filter down in there. Going to let some air out. There we go. Nice breeze coming through. More towards the back here. On the food, we'll go right here. I usually like to keep my first aid kit right to the top in case something happens. That way I'm not bleeding all over my stuff. I've done that before and I'm like, I should have just kept everything on top. And if I was that first aid, I'm bleeding all over my stuff. That ain't cool. I think part one is going to be a long video. I didn't see the time on it. And don't be afraid to crush stuff. Like I'm crushing the heck out of my food here, but I have it in a Ziploc bag for that reason. Don't be afraid to smash down. If you have something that breaks real easily, it don't belong in the woods. There we go. First aid kit will set right on top. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay this down. I'm going to shovel on that some more. Try to get the air on my first aid kit here. And to be quite honest with you, I could probably take this grill tape and hang it off here. Probably make it a little bit easier to put in my bag. Shoot. I thought about leaving a corner open on this a couple times. The haversack itself is not waterproof. It is water resistant. Bug spray. What I do with this, it's such a small bottle, I have cargo pockets. There we go. Go right in there. I put my bug spray on here first, but depending on how much time I'm out in the woods. If I'm out there for a few hours, I'll probably reapply it. This one's about out. I got a bigger can, but it still fits in my pockets here, my cargo pockets. I'm going to go ahead and stick my tent stakes in cordage. I believe I have 9 seeds. We have this. This can actually just go on me with my knife. They don't have to go in there. And I think I'm out of room for that one in my main pocket. You see the way this is clipped? I don't have to remove my belt and just clip it right on there. Now I never really had it fall off. I did once, I didn't have my belt. Make sure it's on your belt good. If you brush into something, it will knock it off your belt. I nearly lost this thing once because of that. I've had this thing forever. This, I would have to unbuckle my belt and put it on. So that's stuff I can wear on my belt. Knife on my right side, this on my left side. Now we're going to have to refold this. I'm going to try it back up and show you. Haversack's found in the way there. Let me readjust the phone here. Here we go. so that's just a rain poncho, it's a various one. They do make tarps. They're like space bunks, but it's an actual thicker tarp than the space bunk you just saw in my first aid kit. So I'm just going to fold this up. When using this, you will have to tie your hood. This is not perfectly square. That's just folding up kind of funny, but that's all right. So I'm gonna move you guys back towards the table here. And here we go. Probably have to take it and fold it a few more times. I'll try to. Not exactly folding up perfect, but it don't have to be perfect. Just have to be able to get it inside that pocket there with the rest of that stuff. There we go. Think that'll work. Unfold it. I gotta be careful where I press down like this table. If I get it off the corner, we're on the floor, and so is my coffee. And that wouldn't be cool. I'm still drinking my coffee. Which is lukewarm. But I'm gonna drink it anyways. Why? Because I hate wasting stuff. So I got a small package. I have not been tying this up because it don't matter how I tie it up, this is so slippery that the cord just comes right off. All I'm gonna do is stick it in this pocket. Get this in the middle because I ain't gonna press on it. What I'll do is I'll just lay it down. I'm not gonna lie, it ain't gonna close perfectly. There we go. But nothing's going to fall out. I'm going to get back with it. I'm going to put my belt knife on. I'm going to put this on. And I'll show you what it all looks like on me. We're going to put the wire on there. Probably leave the coffee cup off, but you guys will, I'll show you how you put it on there. Alright. Got some stuff going on outside, so forgive the motor noise you're hearing if you're hearing it. This is how it's looking. When it's on me. Pack stays back here. I had my foraging pouch here, which is kind of unfolded. I have stuff. I tried to fold it back down smart because it does fold down smart, but I do have stuff in here. We have my belt knife on, and that's how that works. So guys, I will get back to you guys on the next one. This is part 1. Part 2, we're going to use this stuff and do an overnighter with it, which means I'll have to get pine needles. That's another thing. I'm not carrying no animal skins or a pad. They carried animal skins with them. I guarantee they piled up the leaves and the pine needles to make it a little bit more comfortable, and I've done that before. That's probably what we're going to have to do. I might attach a blanket to me so I can have a blanket. We'll see. It's been so dang hot out here, and if I'm ground pounding out here, I'm probably not going to need a blanket. And we'll get some ferro rod practice in part 2. But anyways, I got to get out of here. I will see you guys on the next one. You guys know what to do. You hit the like button or the thumbs up, or not on Facebook, hit the thumbs up. Go ahead and hit the notification bell so you can stay notified. Do leave me a comment. I do enjoy and appreciate the comments while I learn off each other. And another thing we can do is just share the video out. And we'll use this stuff on the next video. See you guys on the next one. Hope this traffic dies down. Thanks for watching, folks.